Bro, Lance and Jan like squashed their beef. They're like friends now.
No way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Unlike you and everybody else.
Hey, if you ain't beefing, you ain't living.
Dude, you're like Lance, but not good.
What up, party people? All right. I missed the first 45 minutes of the show this morning because I was trying to put out a flood that I had created in my kitchen trying to replace my dishwasher. Apparently, I am not the DIY guy like Dizzle, but I'm trying to be. So I missed the first 45 minutes. I have no idea what they talked about there, but I do know in the last 45 minutes, because it was a pretty long show today, there was just a lot of tire talk. And I know you guys are here for it, so wait till 45 minutes in if you want to hear about tires. Let's see. If you have any other questions or feedback for the show, you can drop us a note at bonkbrospodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Instagram. No new SILCA code for you guys this week, but you could try to use capital Bonk Bros Black Friday for 15% off. Actually, I think it's 5% off of the already discounted products. So it's an additional 5% off of their Black Friday through Cyber Monday sales, whatever they've got going on. Try it. If we get a new code before this episode drops, we'll throw it in the show notes. Don't you worry. Let's see. I want to do something this week that we haven't done in a while, and that is give a shout out to some of our supporters on Patreon that pay for it. Because we technically say that if you commit to a certain supporter level, we'll give you a shout. So here goes. We've got $20 a month all access pass members: Anu, Brett, Caleb, Chuck, Daniel, Joe, Matt, Ryan, and Chris. Man, you guys are giving us $20 a month. That is awesome. Who do we got here? Coming in at $8 a month, VIP listeners with a shout out. So that means you get early access to the shows, and we're going to give you a shout out, which we haven't done in a while. So that's why we're doing it. We got Charlotte, Connor, Joel, Julian, Keith, Chris, and Tweakleberg. That's what your name is on here, so that's what you're getting called. All right, let's get this party started already.
Are you nervous, Scott?
No, it just naturally.
Adam's not here to be our host, so I guess I'll have to fill in his shoes. Welcome back to the Bonk Bros. I'm Dizzle.
You do this in post, bro. You can just start talking.
Yeah, I'm your main host here. This is my podcast.
Recurring guest.
Because Drew's always late. He never even hears the beginning.
Today we've got our guests Dillman, Tyler, and Scott, and Adam is on his way. He's my co-host.
What garbage did you buy this week, Drew?
Well, I still haven't unboxed the garbage from last week.
Dude, did you see there were people actually upset about how we roasted Wheeltop?
Told you.
Specifically me. Like, yeah, I did most of the roasting.
Yeah, you were the one roasting.
You're such an elitist. Like, oh, I'm in the top 1%. I only use SRAM Red. I only use efficient chains. Like, only the best for me.
No, I don't use SRAM Red.
I'm
bro.
Dylan freaking Johnson. I would never stoop so low to even look at a Wheeltop group set.
You do a really good Dylan Johnson impression.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That is all of that is stuff that I would say for sure.
Yeah, you already said it all.
I know.
I can't believe that guy got so upset about the 1% thing.
Who got upset about that? I didn't even see that.
Banjo the dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's a dog, dude. Got to give him a break.
He's probably only in the top 3%, so he's probably just pissed. He's like, man, I wish I was in that 1%, but I'm only in the 3%.
Yeah.
I listened back, and I like how you nonchalantly said that I'm only in the 2%. Like, screw you, buddy. Like, am I not good enough to be in the 1% either? Like,
no, you
said 3.8 million people are in the 1%, and then 1 minute later you said, yeah, you're probably in the top 2%. Okay, I'm not faster than 4 million people.
No. But like the point that I'm making there is it's 1% of genetic ability, and there's millions of people that have a really high genetic ability in cycling that like never picked up cycling in their life. You know,
so I'm only in the top like 5% for genetics.
Dude, you're honestly
1% in performance.
Oh, dude, in performance, you're like 0.1%.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
I mean, I'm not trying to like stroke you off here, but like you're probably.
But if you were,
like you're probably 1%, man.
Don't say probably.
You are. You're.
theoretically, you could be.
You're 1%, bro. Yeah, you're, and that's why it just pains me to see you riding a wheel top group set.
Well, look, Banjo. I'm not saying this about myself. Dylan said that, so come after him, not me.
Yeah, Banjo's gonna be real upset.
Dude, he might unsubscribe from your YouTube channel. He or she or they.
Banjo the dog.
Dude, so what's going on in the world of cyclocross, huh?
Whew.
Oh,
World Cup kicked off last weekend.
Tyler, you posted something that just said Boros, and I'm like, oh, that's like what's his name, Michael Boros or
Michael Boros?
Yeah,
yes.
and I was like, oh, I've raced him before. Like, what did he do? And I went to his Instagram to look like, what did he do? And then I searched on Instagram, Michael Boros, nothing popped up. And then like a day later, I saw the video
on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, that was epic. That was like Joey 2.0. Like,
okay, so I missed it. What did Michael Boros do?
Tyler, pull it up and send it in the chat so Dylan can see
Dylan,
it.
how did you miss this? Your Instagram feed must be so messed up.
He's just typing. He's
Tyler
just,
will send it. Tyler
out there
knows.
making steamroller posts on his Instagram about how he's, training or whatever.
Tyler's the king of the LMGTFY. So he'll GTFY that stuff right over.
Let me Google that for you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, so
I don't get these
dude, Tyler also got like you get a new mic, bro?
No, I just put it super close to my face and
you're
just
right.
Yelling into it.
We can hear you now. This is amazing. Good job.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You've been on this podcast for 2 years and you finally turned your volume up. That's like the day that Scott realized his microphone was backwards for a year and a half. This is just as good.
I'm pretty much an original member at this point.
Tyler just got so frustrated last week after he said Oscar Pistorius 8 times and none of us heard it.
Yeah.
Also, I realized after that like that was his. Anyway, we don't need to delve into the Oscar Pistorius thing. He claimed that it was an intruder, but then it, I think, allegedly turned out that they were having a domestic dispute. So not a good dude. Anyways, that was like, what was that? 10 years ago at this point.
So what happened with Boros was like he, for those who can't see the video in the chat, he was leading the race. Nobody was off the front, right? He was in first place.
That was the first lap, right?
First lap, first place. He goes into the barriers to hop the barriers, clips the first one, does like, the thing where he rolls on his front wheel, hits the second one and just yard sells. His bike's in the middle of the course. He's in the middle of the course and it's just carnage. Like, dudes are running over his bike. Dudes are running into him. And then Thibaut Nice ends up just smacking him like body on body. And then
Thibaut hit the back of Thibaut too.
Yeah. And then Thibaut gets hit again. So then Thibaut Nice, like the European champ, is at the end of it all, he's on the ground curled up in fetal position and his bike is on the other side of the course. And everybody else has already like gone and left, like Boros himself. But it was like Boros was standing there for like 30 seconds just trying to get to his bike, but there were so many people.
He was trying to get to his glasses.
He kept running into people. That's even worse. He was trying to get to his glasses. Yeah. He took out like 5 dudes just trying to like dodge. Like he was like, that game Frogger? It was like Frogger version, but European cyclocross.
Can we show a YouTube video on YouTube video? Or is that gonna get us?
Yeah, pull it up on no, you can do that.
It'll probably be fine.
It'll be fine.
Okay. We'll just turn the
Are you talking about are you asking us about rules right now?
Well, I just don't, this is
we're
trying to make some moolah.
Well, the worst that they'll do is they'll demonetize the video and then, it's not like
they could like copyright strike it, and then that's really bad for your channel.
Oh yeah, you get 3 strikes, dude, and it's only like a 1 year rolling thing, so it's fine.
How many copyright strikes do you have, Dizzle?
I don't know. I don't think I have any actually. Here we go.
Yeah,
I think I
here we
did
go.
see this.
You got the lead in. All right, so that Michael
Right
BONKBROS
here.
is in red, white, and blue.
Michael
kinda
Boros used to
choppy.
be, I mean, he's a really good cross racer. He's been like Czech champion for ages now. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
big old group just gets to the
beat him.
front.
I beat him once.
Yeah. That's fine. I still
that
think
good.
he'd be back here, Dizzle.
Not that good.
He's got a better
I
start
would
than
be-
you.
Oh yeah, I would suck.
Yeah. But hold on, wait for it.
He doesn't find himself. He
He
doesn't find himself in first place that often. And
He's
now
probably so excited.
he's probably so pumped, and now he's so embarrassed.
Yeah.
I would probably just quit if I were you, buddy.
pulled an Adam Saban, just went off the front.
Yeah.
Probably
At least
probably
Adam
watched
Saban didn't crash out the entire field. He should have. That would have been sick. Would have
This
been my
is-
chance to win.
This
but-
is more similar to the lady that was holding the cardboard sign, looking at the camera, and she took out the whole peloton of the Tour de France. Like, this is more like that. Like, he's not really anybody, but he took out all of it. He really took out all the Belgian favorites. Like,
Bro, dude, the lady
everybody in Belgium's pissed at this guy right now.
Dude,
Wait
the
for
lady with the
it.
sign
Wait
is
for
so
it.
much worse. Like, he just made Oh, damn. Yeah.
I didn't see this. I didn't
walks.
see. Wham.
Had to get his head unit. Then he's
Oh, there's
just
Tebow.
walking across the entire group. Oh, there goes Curtis.
Curtis was
and-
there?
Yeah, he's right there in all white. I don't
dang.
understand if you. There's Tebow.
Oh, look, and there's our homeboy from Michigan, Sam Young.
Ben Frederick finishing on the lead lap. Good for him.
Did Tebow, like, actually get seriously hurt?
Coming
He just
from
got
a
his
guy,
ankle like rode over.
coming from a guy that's been to Europe and shouldn't have went to Europe because I'm too slow. I really don't understand when people go to Europe and they're not very fast. Like,
Well, what was your motivation for doing it?
well, it was like 50-50. It was like I was going to race
Thought
and
it was fast.
we were going on family vacation. Like, CJ came and she's never been to Europe. So it was like it was an excuse to go to Europe so she could go, and I was racing. So it was like, two birds with one stone. But like, what in the world is Sam Young and Ben Frederick doing going to Europe? Like, they don't even win races in the US. What are they doing in Europe?
I mean, I didn't win races and I still went to Europe.
I'm asking you the same question, buddy.
Well, Dizzle, you also don't win races in the US. So
I only went once, and it was for like half the reason was to go for vacation.
okay, so would the vacation would have been better or worse if you had not raced your bike and just hung out with your family the whole time?
I don't know. Depends on like what you like to do. Like, I like going to bike races.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. I'm not asking like the general population. I'm asking Dizzle Dillman.
It probably would have been a little bit better had I not raced so much. I mean, like, I did like the whole Christmas block. I probably should have only raced like 3 or 4 times instead of like 7 times.
Yeah.
But got to go for that glory.
Yeah, I mean, I think like
That glory of trying to finish on the lead lap.
Did
it's
you?
hard.
Not a single time.
It's hard.
Yeah. After that, I was like, I suck at this sport.
Yeah,
So
then
I
you went to
switched-
gravel.
So I went to gravel, where I can just suck with all the other people who realized they sucked at World Tour and they sucked at mountain biking. And so now we're all in gravel, just sucking together.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. That's what gravel's all about.
It's a bunch of dudes sucking together.
Yep.
That was one of those moments where I shouldn't have said that.
No, dude, that was good.
It's
It's
fine.
good you realize it,
No one will notice. No one even listens to this show.
Part of maturity and becoming a mature professional gravel racer is realizing that
Is
you're
making sexual innuendos all the time.
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
you're the one who just took it there. I was just, I was just about to say, like, realizing you're in the B leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Next step is getting a IPA sponsorship, just an IPA, not from a brewery.
And like a non-alcoholic IPA. That's when you've made it to gravel.
Dude,
you got that
wearing a-
non-alcoholic sponsorship.
Yeah, dude, you start wearing flannels all the time. Get yourself a curly mustache.
And you start riding those really flared out bars at the end where like the drops are like 6 inches outside of the hoods.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Next
I
level,
can't.
dude.
I can't get with that yet.
It's
I've
coming.
thought about this. You know how Canyon has that handlebar that's like it's like two handlebars in one.
Mhm.
What if I did that, but like
On a state bicycle?
I put one set of normal handlebars on my bike, but then I put like a set of like narrower handlebars in front of the wider narrow bars to like basically just, you know, a DIY Aero bar extension. But it wouldn't be Aero bar extensions. It would be a second set of handlebars.
I think Dylan probably tested this last week in the pedal efficiency rig to see if double stacking bars would be more efficient than single.
Because
bars.
like if they say, oh, well, you're breaking the rules, I'd say, well, everybody with that goofy double handlebar Canyon bike is breaking the rules as well.
I don't think that Lifetime care, like they're not the UCI, bro. Like you can, the only reason why they even banned Aero bars, which like they weren't, I don't even think they wanted to, but the reason why they banned Aero bars was because certain riders got their panties in a wad about how certain other riders.
Pete Stetna gotta ruin the fun for everybody.
I'm just saying,
Go back to the world tour, dude.
Like, dude,
Coming to gravel and
the
saying
Lifetime
no Aero bars.
The Lifetime Grand Prix is pretty lawless. Like, you know how they make a big deal about how you need to have your number plate flat to the wind, and then everybody breaks that rule, and then they don't do shit about it ever.
I didn't even have my number plate on my bike at Big Sugar. I got all the way to the start line and didn't even realize until like 2 minutes before we start that like, oh, I forgot to put my number on my bike. Dude,
that has the timing chip. How'd you get time?
As soon as I finished, Grace ran over to the finish and told them what my name was and my number. I had my number pinned on my skin suit.
Dude, so at the rad, Keegan Swenson had his number taped to his seat post.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody from Lifetime came up and talked to him, and I'm assuming I couldn't hear the conversation very well because they're like blaring music at the beginning of the race.
Little slap on the wrist.
But they're like, hey, basically, look,
DQ'd.
Keegan, you can't do that. And it's Keegan Swenson, so he was like, I'm gonna do it. And they're like,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. He was basically like, what, are you gonna kick me out of the race?
Has anybody tried putting their number in their spokes of their front wheel? Would that be more or less Aero?
I feel like it would make your wheel off balance.
Just get a really big front disc. Like
what if you just ran a front disc and then
just duct tape it to the disc?
Actually, that's what Chase should do with his rear disc.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But then you lose the sprint in the timing chip because
I was about to say,
number is like rotated to the back.
Honestly, what you should do is you should really put your number on a selfie stick, and then when you're going into the sprint, you extend the selfie stick so that the timing chip goes like 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
If you had done that, Dylan, you would have got second in that sprint at the Mid-South instead of fifth.
Dude, that would have been great for your Big Sugar video to just watch you like extending your camera out in front of whoever you were sprinting.
That you can't tell. You can't. That's what I do. You can't even tell because you can't see me or the bike. That's how I do all my moves. I just selfie stick it.
Dude, maybe you would have beat Borstelman.
Yeah, probably.
So in this conversation, did Keegan just say, "Do you know who I am?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
Do you know who I am?
We designed this whole competition for you to win, so
that's true. That's true. Imagine if they had kicked him out. Like they wanted to make an example, and they were like, "Sorry, you're DQ'd."
This is like a Vanderpool at Worlds where he hops on the sidewalk and almost nukes a pedestrian, and then they're like, "I mean, we can't kick him out."
Vanderpool. We'll just give him a little fine and tell everybody that we fined him.
Yeah. Oh, we told them not to do that again.
Remember when it looked like Sagan elbow checked Cavendish and they kicked him out of the tour?
Yeah,
that's kind of the opposite. Like Sagan is such a big name, and they didn't care. They're like, "Sorry, you're out."
Yeah,
and it was arguably. Like his elbow went out, so it looked egregious, but I don't know. It depends on what camera angle you look at. It was arguably not necessarily his fault. Like his elbow just came out because he was trying to balance himself.
I think if Cav hadn't had had not broke his collarbone in that crash, then it probably would have been a fine or something like that. But because he broke his collarbone and was out of the race, they felt like they had to do something.
Yeah, but Tyler, do your Sagan impersonation. Go now. Go now. You do so good. Do it.
No, dude, you got to come see us at the Ignition Coach Co booth.
You're
at all the
so
races
good
that we're
at
at.
it.
I know I am, but you got to come see that in person. Can't just get that on the internet for free. You could advertise it
because everybody listening to this right now pays for this.
come to the Mid-South Expo. You can meet Dylan Johnson for 30 seconds when he walks by. And
imagine if we had waited for
Peter Sagan.
He still isn't in here. He got sucked into the Menards. Save more money. He's just doing loops in the store now.
Dude, I swear, Adam, if we start talking about Menards,
he's like, he realized like if I get 11% rebate, the more money I spend, the more money I save. Oh snap!
There's like math. So there's math. There's girl math, and then there's Dizzle math.
Menards math.
Dizzle's like you have to spend money to save money. Good idea.
Spend more money at Menards. That's their new slogan.
Back to the original question that you had to actually talk about bike racing.
Michael Boros? I forget what we were talking about.
The world of cyclocross. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was in minute 1, and we're like 30 minutes in.
I mean, hey, it's been nice. The Dublin World Cup was this last weekend, second round after Antwerp. Fem Van Empel did not win, which was actually made it exciting in the women's race.
Who did
win? She did win the first round. Lucinda. Lucinda won.
She's getting kind of old. All right.
She's like 33.
34. Older than Fem. Fem's like 19.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the sauces. Actually, if you go watching the whole men's race, if you watch Boros just take out half the peloton, that was exciting. And then the last lap was actually really exciting because Ellie was off the front and then messed it up, rode into a barrier or like the sign on the side, and then it was actually a really close fight.
The TV sign? Did he take out a TV sign?
No, he just like ran wide through a corner and had to like unclip. So it was actually pretty. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I want to see somebody just smack one of those TV signs and the whole thing just like blow up.
Yeah, but awesome. You mean like the ones at the end or like the barriers?
Yeah, the ones that are like literally the barriers. Like you're riding, and instead of there being caution tape, there's a TV next to you.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and they're like the barrier advertisements.
Yo, what's the feeling about Ellie Iserbeat right now after his like egregious stomping on derailers?
He's an angry little man.
Yeah, he's
like, is he losing fans?
Did he have any?
Probably, yeah. He's probably.
I mean, I'm sure people in Belgium like him, but like they kind of have to because of like blood relations, but. But like, why would anybody like him? He's not good looking. He's not nice. He's really.
Who cares about how good looking he is? It's bike racing.
I know, but when you're ugly, that doesn't really help your cause at all. Like, if he was mean and looked like Brad Pitt, you might like him. Like, but
I don't know, Dizzle. Why do people
really
like you?
Like? I don't know. Do people like me? I don't think they do.
All the same boxes.
He's just doesn't seem like a nice guy. He's not on the list of people I'd want to hang out with.
He was on Magalee's podcast, and actually he is, I think, like very nice off the bike, but between the tape, he is not. If he's in race mode, he is not a good person, but he's just a competitor. I'll say
he's the cyclocross version of Adam Roberge.
And what's the Sophia?
Yeah, nice outside. Yeah. And then once you're racing, it's like, do not care about you.
I mean, to be fair, Adam Roberge would never in a million years stomp on somebody's derailleur. He just kind of like
He might. Though.
Are you, dude? He never gets angry during a race. He doesn't yell at anyone. He doesn't do anything.
He's yelled at me for skipping a pull.
No, he hasn't, dude.
I swear. In Mexico last year, I was eating food and he's like, "What the heck, Andrew? Why aren't you gonna pull through?" And I was like,
He calls you Andrew.
I don't remember what he said,
only?
but I was like, I'm eating food right now. I don't want to. You do it.
Next time I'm mad at you, I'm going to call you Andrew.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
next week, later in this episode.
Yeah, probably like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder if we're going to see. It's actually like the racing this year on the cross scene has been relatively competitive. Like it's not like
the
it's
homeboy
cool
from
when
Spain's
Vanderpool,
been mixing it up too. He took a big jump forward, I think.
Yeah, go watch this last weekend. He also, I mean, just like confirming that he's on a good season. But I think like when you have the competitive races that you have currently, it makes more people come out to watch the actual races.
When Vanderpool and
Wout
Wout
nice.
don't just like obliterate everybody.
Yeah, I mean when they show up and then they wait till lap 2 to leave the whole field,
Solo off and win by a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if Vanderpool and Wout are showing up at a race, that probably draws the biggest crowd out of it.
Yeah.
Any possible scenario.
True.
Yeah.
And Pidcock. Yeah.
I totally forgot about Pid.
He still races bikes?
Are Wout and Vanderpool, are they going to do any cyclocross this year?
Oh,
I
my
thought
God.
I
This
heard
is the third episode in a row that we've asked this question.
Nobody's giving me a clear answer. Usually they like on Instagram or something, they'll post their cyclocross calendar, and I ain't seeing any of that this year.
I think that Vanderpool
Just
announced that he was going to announce his cross schedule.
Announce the announcement.
Yeah, so it's like the Lifetime Grand Prix. I'm going to announce that we're going to announce when we're going to announce
Yeah.
the roster for the Grand Prix. And then we're not going to use any names. We're just going to tag
You know what
their
I
Instagram
realized
handles. So
last
you can't
week?
actually tell.
Who didn't get into the Lifetime GP, and I'm like super shocked by it?
Who?
Lance hated. Didn't Lance, our boy
Wow,
Lance?
yeah, that is shocking.
He didn't make it into the GP.
What place did he finish last
I
year?
know. He 2 years ago he was almost top 10, I think. I think he was like in your spot, like 11th, 12th.
No, he was 10th.
Yeah, he was 10th in the first year or two, and
Well, so,
I guess
I mean,
this year he was right around 15th or something like that. Like,
I mean,
so
same
if
with Alex Howes. Alex Howes has been top 10 every year of the Grand Prix, and then he got the cut this year.
This year he sucked. Like if you got one crappy year.
Well, what did Lance Hayden get this year?
I think I want to say like 15th. Like if they had not obliterated the top 15 rule, I think he might have made it back in.
And if only we could look up the results.
Do it, Adam. Adam's here to. Adam's back.
16th, dude. 16th.
Ah. Dude,
16th.
Dylan, if you had gotten 16th, you would not be in this series right now.
I would have been shocked, bro.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Dang. Did anybody behind Lance get into the series?
Zach Calden? Did he get in?
know.
I think he did, yeah.
What the crap?
Is
Inconsistent.
Was Braden Lang behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucked.
Braden
too.
Lang got back in too.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they let those bums in and not Lance? Lance is way better looking than both of those guys.
Dude, why are you so obsessed with how good looking male cyclists are?
Because like that's got to be on the list. Like you can't have ugly people in it. What?
I don't.
Did you just call Braden Lang and Zach Calden ugly?
No. All I said was that Lance was better looking than them.
Did
Lance is a good looking guy.
Did Nate Spratt get back in?
No.
Or
Is he not?
Kyle Trudeau?
He shouldn't even have been in it this year.
Is he not good looking enough for you, Drew? Like what?
Nah, but
it seems to be the how to get sponsored by Drew Dillman.
I didn't realize the Lifetime Grand Prix was a freaking beauty contest.
Lesby didn't get in either.
What else are you guys doing?
Lesby didn't get in?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What spot was him?
What's
Grammar?
Him was 19th.
I'm so bad at grammar. What?
Him was 19th.
Oh, that kind of sucks too.
Finn Gullickson got back in. He was 15th.
Yeah.
Dang, so Lance was
Sean
close.
Fincham too. Yeah. And what happened? Did Lance? Did he just have a bad year, or did he have some races that? No, he did every race. He just didn't do well in any of them.
I don't think he didn't. I don't think he had like a bad year. He just never had any like stellar results. Like Dillon got that stellar result at Unbound, and then he was just rolling off of that result for the rest of the season.
How many points do you get for 23rd?
If you get one, you were third, right? You were the third
out of the Grand Prix, yeah.
You get a third place, and then that gets you so much points that then you can get 16th in all the other races. but Lance just got like probably like 13th or 14th.
Dude, Lance was 7th at Big Sugar. Pretty damn good.
Wow. Yeah.
7th out of all the lifetime riders.
Out of the lifetime Grand Prix under the age of 30.
Isn't that all they care about?
With blonde hair from California.
So that was probably his best result of the year.
And he was 8th at Unbound. So he had 2 top 10s.
Wow, dude. I mean, that's 2 top 10s, and he's not back in the Grand Prix. That's crazy.
Do we know if he applied? Maybe he didn't apply.
You thought about that?
Yeah.
Drew, do you know if he
lost your mind, Dylan?
I bet he applied. I don't know why he wouldn't apply.
Maybe he actually didn't apply.
Wow,
I'm like 90% sure he applied.
Why don't we just text him and ask him?
Scott, like, if you're not in the Grand Prix, like, are you even a bike racer?
Well, probably because it's 6:30 in the morning and he wouldn't.
Aren't there a whole bunch? Isn't only like 6 races and there's a bunch of other races?
Yeah,
like
but
maybe you didn't get anything out of it.
I mean, that's true. You got 16th. I know how much money you get when you get 16th.
What, 0?
It's a big fat 0.
Dude, and do you remember when I just remember this because this is the last time I texted Lance. Lance and Keegan went head to head at BWR Arizona.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, I know. I saw that and I was like, man, maybe he'll be like, this would be a huge year for him and he'll battle with Keegan. But then
was that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the only race where that happened. And I was like, dang, what a letdown.
I mean, he took him to like mile 100 out of like,
it was like
or something.
It was like, I don't know, less than 10 miles to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chase did that too, actually. At not
Yeah.
BWR, but another race.
Valley of Tears, right?
Yeah.
He also crashed him out in the feed zone in that race.
Good boy, Chase.
One strategy. Scott, are you in your new house?
Yep.
Dude, nice. The acoustics are.
Can't you hear how empty the room is?
Yeah. You need to throw some towels around that thing.
I already told him to go pull in like some boxes of clothes or something to like.
Well, we haven't moved in yet, so I'm just here like working.
Okay.
Oh.
You got Wi-Fi though.
But you got good enough Wi-Fi to do a podcast.
Well, yeah. I got
What's your address? I'd like to send you a housewarming present.
T-Mobile Wi-Fi.
Nice. Is that hotspot?
Yeah, you just plug it in.
Oh, it's like a little
your phone.
Oh, really?
It just uses their cell towers.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. We'll see how it works, but it's working now, right?
Is that what you did, Drew, when you changed your Wi-Fi?
I did it for like a week, but I guess because of where we live, we didn't get unlimited data. We only got like 100 gigs and I didn't know how much that was. And it's not that much.
Dude, what are we fucking sponsored by T-Mobile or something? Why are we talking about this shit?
Now I got it.
Dude, T-Mobile's got way more money than any other bike company or whatever.
And they have a history of sponsoring. Remember Jens Voigt? No, that's not who it was. Who was that guy's the big pink German? What was his name?
Jan Ulrich.
Yes, Jan Ulrich. He was the T-Mobile guy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. He was a legend.
Well,
he was like arch
Telecom?
nemesis of Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, now they're like best buds.
Isn't Jan Ulrich dead?
No, he's not.
No.
He was in rehab.
Never mind.
Bro, Lance and Jan like squashed their beef. They're like friends now.
No way.
Yeah, dude. Unlike you and everybody else.
Hey, if you ain't beefing, you ain't living.
Dude, you're like Lance, but not good.
Just got everybody hates me except for I'm not even beating them and they still hate me.
Yeah.
At least he was beating them, so he
Yeah,
had like a
was a
leg
winner.
up on them. Yeah, at least he was a
That's
winner.
what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew won
That's-
collegiate nats one time. Did he tell you about that?
Hey, buddy. Not one time. 2 times.
2 times.
Come on.
Wait, are you counting the team
Wow.
relay?
Nah, if you count that, it would have been like 10 times.
Oh, okay.
What about the
Oh,
Omnium?
no, bro.
Was it on the
when your
track?
team won the Omnium.
Yeah, if you count those, it'd be like 20. That's how Corinne Rivera has 80 national championships because 70 of them are from collegiate.
Yeah,
Wow.
collegiate national championships don't count. And I'm allowed to say that because that's the only ones I have.
You've
What,
won collegiate
collegiate?
nats?
I won team relay twice, and I won the Omnium road once.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe if you hadn't bitched out of the winning break this last Pro Nats, then you could actually.
Bitched out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I just saw you sit up because you were like
Dude,
hungry or
crit,
something like
dude.
that.
My teammates crashed.
Yeah. The echelon slide out, that was sick. Fourth wheel.
Oh,
Just
won the national championship.
yeah. Well, should we wrap it
But
up?
back
Is
to
it over?
T-Mobile.
Back to
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
If you want the best international phone plan, T-Mobile.
Oh my, who cares?
That's true.
What?
All right, people travel internationally that listen to this. I'm giving
Bro,
advice.
how much are you getting paid by T-Mobile right now?
Nothing. I'm just a value customer.
If you're going to the Andor and Epic or any of the European gravel races, you're going to need a phone plan so that you can post to Instagram.
None of these
Your
SIMs, eSIMs, nothing.
Yeah.
You show up, your phone works. Over 200 countries.
exactly.
Did you pay
Dude,
extra
you
though?
sound like you're reading from a freaking script.
Scott, do you pay
Seriously,
extra for
though.
that?
No.
No.
You don't pay any international fees?
Adam,
No.
why are you
Well,
entertaining this?
So here's
Because
you get
when I've traveled overseas, in order to use my Verizon, it's like I think it's like $10 a day or something.
Dude,
It's $10
we
a
have
day.
cyclists that travel
Yeah, cyclists
internationally to
travel.
race
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the most
Some people
relevant things
race
we've ever
outside
talked
the
about.
US.
outside of Brevard, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Dude, it probably even works in Brevard.
No, it doesn't
T-Mobile?
actually. The signal sucks
Yeah.
in Brevard.
Well, see, like at this house that I'm at now, nobody's Verizon would ever work. When my grandma was living here, like when you come, and she didn't have Wi-Fi because she was old, and but T-Mobile is fucking screaming here.
Wow.
Mm.
So wait, I have a question. So the little hotspot thing you're using, is it taking cell signal and then transmitting that as Wi-Fi? So it is like a hotspot, or is it?
To be honest, I don't know what's going on.
Is there?
Yeah, but you guys know
is
about-
there?
you
You
guys
guys
know
know about? Is there an Ethernet cable that connects to
No,
You guys
there's
know
no
about
cable.
the
Okay.
You plug it into the wall outlet, and that's it.
So it kind of
It's
works like
satellite.
Starlink then.
I don't think it's Starlink.
I know.
I think it's cell power.
It works like Starlink, except it's using cell signal instead of satellite signal.
I
Yeah, but
believe
this is
so. But
way
it's not a signal.
bigger than any of that. They got T-Mobile Tuesdays, and every Tuesday they send you coupons. This week you get a free 3-piece chicken nugget from KFC.
Damn, dude.
Every Tuesday you get a coupon, a new
Yeah.
coupon.
Tell me you're from Kentucky without telling me you're from Kentucky.
Dude, tell me you're Drew Dillman without telling me you're Drew Dillman. Getting so excited over some free garbage again.
Drew's gonna go spend like $50 at KFC to get 3 free nuggets.
I don't
You
think
go to
you have
McDonald's and get a
Is there a
4-piece.
All you
minimum
gotta spend-
$25
you
minimum
only-
purchase?
$5 minimum purchase, bro.
That's more than you're
Yeah,
getting
but then
for
you
free.
get to that drive-through line. You
That's
see them
so
buckets of
good.
chicken,
It's
your
not
mouth
even
starts
just 3
watering.
pieces. It's a 3-piece box, so you get fries with it.
You say, "Hey CJ, you want to split a bucket?" And then you're $50 in the hole on a chicken bucket.
I'm just saying.
That's how
A
they
free-
get you, bro.
A free Shack burger from the Shake Shack. I don't even know if we have any of those in
Drew,
Kentucky.
do you think that they would be sending this stuff out if they were losing money? No, they're making money off of you, bro.
But yeah, back to the actual thing that matters is you get 5 free gigs a month of international high speed, and then it slows down.
Okay.
And then I believe it's like 20 cents a minute to call, but if you just call on like WhatsApp or FaceTime, it doesn't use, uses like the gigs. And unlimited texting.
Dude, you better be getting a fat check.
How much you paying a month
for making our listeners endure this bullshit? You better be getting a fat check.
It's like me, Megan, my brother, and my sister.
I can't, dude. We need to skip to listener questions right now.
And I think it's like $43 a person.
You know what? $43 a person. That's it.
Is that good?
Including your Wi-Fi, yeah.
No, the total bill is like $200 for my Wi-Fi and 4 phone plans.
Dude, and the fact that Adam is so interested in this conversation, just like...
Dude, it's just like what people need to hear. Nobody cares about their tires. Everyone's got a cell phone.
Yeah, dude. There's like no debate in the tire world. The only debate that we're having to have right now is over which cell service to go with.
You guys all want to get on a family plan with Scott so we can all have T-Mobile and text each other for free?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
We share a studio, right? So that's the same thing as being in one household.
Got 4 more lines.
They don't even care if you're actually related or not. Like, they just don't even care.
No.
How did cycling teams get sponsored by these massive corporations? Like, the United States Postal Service is like a government-funded entity, isn't it? So, like, how in the world does that... How in the world did that sponsor... Basically, like, that was a government-funded cycling team. Like, how in the world did they get these massive sponsors like T-Mobile?
Because they're doing a real
I can't even
sport.
get the local barbecue store to sponsor me. Like, and they're getting T-Mobile? Like,
you're doing gravel races. I would start with doing actual races.
I knew that was going to be one of the answers. Yeah, I knew that one. That was a softball.
I mean,
does anybody use the Postal Service more when they sponsored Lance?
It's how people mail packages. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you need to use it, you use it.
Right.
Do people are people like, oh, dude, like Lance, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna go ship
spend my money there. Yeah.
I'm gonna go send a letter.
I mean, you do have other options. You could use UPS, FedEx,
DHL,
freaking speedy delivery.
Imagine how terrible that UPS jersey would be if they sponsored a World Tour team.
I was just going to say, AG2R should have that would have been the greatest collaboration ever. They all just ride around in brown kits.
It would have just been their bib sponsor, like UPS. That's a good idea.
Is AG2R still around?
Yes.
They just don't have brown bibs anymore.
They don't have brown bibs anymore.
No. They have like black bibs. And blue jerseys.
Dude, that was kind of iconic, too.
Yeah, the end of an era.
Like, I know that people made fun of those bibs, but that was kind of iconic.
There's a massive UPS hub here in Louisville. Maybe I'll pitch that to them. Like, we will run brown bibs if you sponsor us.
Brown bibs and the jersey, dude. You have to have the full kit.
Just brown on brown.
Like Pas Normal.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of? They have brown bibs and brown jersey. That's their like gravel team's kit.
Theirs looks a little too cool to be like UPS.
Doesn't look cool at all. It looks like shit.
Really? I think it looks fine. You're racing on dirt, and they're wearing jerseys that look like dirt.
Is that a good thing?
Dude, Trey's going to come for you. Slinging all that mud like that. Trey Shepard.
Why?
He's on Normal?
Think so. Post spotted a lot.
Pa just like sent them some clothes to the shop. They're trying to crack into the U.S. market, so they sent a bunch of clothes to a dying bike shop in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Dude, did you just call your bike shop sponsor dying?
The Jeffersonville location is pretty slow.
It's December, dude. No one's buying bike stuff right now.
Nah, I don't think it's just because it's December.
Well, then you should get them
sponsored. This is what they get for not sponsoring the podcast.
This is why
I'm wearing their hat right now.
If they don't sponsor the podcast, you're going to shit on them.
No. Their business is like run because of online sales, and they know that. Yeah.
All right, we got listener questions or what?
Are we already on that section of the show?
Dude, we've been recording for 40 minutes. Talking about not one single thing of substance.
You were over at Menards buying groceries or something.
You guys see that new Colnago like Aero bike?
No.
Did no one see that?
Is it a road bike or a gravel bike?
Yeah, it's a road bike.
No. What's it called?
Why?
I don't think it has a name yet.
Cervelo?
I think
What brand was it?
Colnago.
Colnago.
Why are you bringing this up? It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks completely different than most. Like they completely took out the seat tube doesn't go straight into the seat post. Just pull up a freaking picture of it, Drew.
You trying to?
That does look kind of wild.
You trying to drop that felt sponsorship to get sponsored by Colnago?
No.
The greatest.
Dude,
racer.
you know how much tire clearance their
I'm not
gravel
looking
bike
it up.
has?
I'm waiting for Adam to drop it in the chat.
I know. That's literally what I'm doing right now.
Are you talking about the new bike?
From Colnago?
Thank you, Scott. Scott, you saw the new Colnago?
He probably had that.
Yeah, I saw it.
He probably had that new SRAM 13 speed that Scott just discovered last week.
No, it's got Dura-Ice. This is pretty cool looking actually.
And the chat is so stupid. You can't even.
It kind of looks like a
copy the link.
triathlon bike.
Triathlon bike.
Speaking of,
you know what would suck though is like if you really wanted to drop your post down, there's not much room for that. You can only drop it like
2 inches,
8 centimeters.
Well, is it just a carbon seat mast, or is there actually a seat post in there?
No, it looks
I
like a
have the
seat
picture
post
in front of me. So
looks like seat post going into it.
It's called the Yurs.
Yeah.
The Yurs.
I think it's Y1RS.
Yeah, I know, but it looks like.
I feel like
Yurs.
that's such a deviation from what Colnago's been all about. Like they're all about tradition and making a bike that looks like a traditional road bike. Like I feel like they've never done something weird looking with a bike before.
Someone said it looks like someone asked OpenAI to make a frame with the following inputs: Madone plus Look Blade plus Cervelo S5. And then someone else
is like literally what it
and
looks
then
like.
someone else posted another picture below it that says this is actually what AI spit out, and it looks like it's a felt, but it's a felt combined with a Trek combined with some Cervelo logo. It's really weird.
So that list of bikes that you just listed off, those are all weird looking Aero road bikes.
Yeah.
Which, dude, I mean, have you seen the bike that Tade currently races? It just looks like a normal, like round tube, normal road bike. Nothing weird looking about it. And then they just went in the complete opposite direction and they're like, let's go full weird.
Wait, Tade rides at Colnago?
Oh my God.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Bro, you're on a cycling podcast.
I thought he was on Cervelo or something.
Oh, dude.
I feel like half of our Instagram DMs are people just telling us how stupid we are that we don't know like that UAE is on Colnago or that there's, 13 speed SRAM or that Waypoint, what is it? Is the best group set ever.
Wheel top.
Whatever.
Waypoint. Dude, all the DMs I get are people telling me that
Sick
I'm
buck,
like a
dude.
genius. I don't know where they're getting that from, but they're like, dude, you're the only one on the podcast that knows anything.
Yeah. Shows how little they know.
Exactly.
Yeah, people get so mad at us when we like don't research a topic. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like,
dude, I don't have time.
Do you listen to this podcast?
I'm trying to build a house.
No, you're not. It's already standing.
All right,
trying
but
to-
I'm trying to do everything else.
Update the house lightly.
I wouldn't call it lightly.
Tyler, I bet you've never even painted a wall in your life, you bum.
I painted
No,
my room
Tyler was
downstairs.
discussing LVP with me. Flooring.
Yeah, exactly.
He's interested in my project.
Nice.
I am. I'm waiting for the YouTube video to drop of how to DIY your own floor from Scott McGill.
If I tried to YouTube this, I think it would slow the progress down by half.
Yeah.
Scott's YouTube video would be like, just read the fucking instructions. And then that would
The
be it.
YouTube video would be, go watch a bunch of YouTube videos about it.
Hey, I don't have anything to share. Just read the YouTube videos.
All right. Well, hey, Josh from Texas wants to know what our thoughts on the Factor Ostro gravel bike are.
Oh, it's not felt, so
isn't that an old? That's an old bike, isn't it?
Didn't you have one of those?
That's not like a. That's not.
Yeah. I had one.
That's not like a new bike, is it?
So what's the deal? No tire clearance?
Yeah, I mean it's got its claimed clearance is 45s. You can fit 47 Pathfinders in it if you cut the side knobs. So, I mean, like, what do you want me to say? That's unacceptable, obviously. That's an unacceptable.
Kind of expensive right now. You can get the frame set on bicycle right now for $3,600, or you can screw that and go to State Bicycles and buy one brand new for $1,000.
Wow.
A used Factor that can't fit big tires, or a brand new State that can fit big tires.
This is what I'll say. When I was on Factor, I was super stoked on that bike, and I think that they were ahead of their time in making an Aero gravel bike. Like I think Aero gravel bike should be a category, and I think it was really cool that they were basically taking their Ostro Aero road bike and making it a gravel bike. It just doesn't have big enough tire clearance, and I will show no love to any gravel bike that doesn't have the correct tire clearance anymore. So that's my review.
All right, Josh, don't get that one. Okay, this is Bob from Canada. He says, Dylan, quote unquote, no one uses bar ends anymore, unquote. I challenged Dylan to use slightly narrower bars with bar ends for a day of riding on gravel or non-technical mountain bike course with long climbs and short, steep hills. The bar ends will give you more power in the hills, and on the long rides, the extra hand position is welcome. The bar ends put your shoulders in a far more comfortable position with the elbows inward. Try it actually to know the difference and compromises. Keep an open mind. Sometimes old ideas have value if modified. Does this guy not realize that you freaking ride drop bars on your mountain bike?
His name's got to be Frank, and he's got to be like 70 years old.
It's Bob, dude.
It's Bob. My point exactly. Bob is at least 50 years old, and that's why he likes bar ends, because nobody under 50 likes bar ends.
Look, dude, I was when I said that, I wasn't hating on bar ends. I was literally just making an observation that no one in World Cup mountain biking uses bar ends. That's just an observation. That's not me hating on bar ends.
Because that's good, right?
That's true. No one in World Cup mountain biking does use bar ends. I mean, they could. Yeah, that's not against the rules. We already reviewed those rules. I don't have any beef with bar ends. So bar ends are fine, I guess.
Are bar ends?
I mean, bar ends are pretty much the same thing as road hoods, which you already have on your mountain bike.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like already riding in bar ends with the drop bar mountain bike.
With way narrower bars than Bob's talking about, too.
Sure.
Yep, Bob.
Yeah, and when I'm in them, I have control of my brakes and shifting.
Very true. You could put little blips on your bar ends, so that way you could at least have control of your shifting. Yeah. And then you can just use your foot if you want to stop.
My foot?
Just jam it in that front tire and be fine.
Rear tire. I mean,
or rear tire if you want to do some skids.
Yeah, don't endo.
Okay. Matt from Wichita says, I'm doing Unbound 100 again this year after doing the 100 last year on a loaner bike that was too small for me. I'm looking to get my own bike that is the right size and a quality lightly used there's a quality lightly used single speed within my small budget that would be perfect, minus the whole missing gears thing. Yeah, it's not really a small thing. Is it worth the additional suffering to do Unbound 100 on a single speed, but with the bonus that I'd have no concern of getting mechanicals? Or am I better off to just get a budget gravel bike with gears, but have a higher risk of mechanicals on the course? Ooh, man, Drew, he's throwing shade at your bikes, dude.
Crap, I kind of zoned out when you're reading that.
He's saying if you buy a budget bike, you're probably going to get mechanicals.
You don't have to put budget components on your budget bike. I raced Unbound on a budget bike with good components. Don't be stupid, bro.
Whoa, dude. Thought we weren't using those kind of language on this podcast. I mean,
just the I word.
Explicit warning on this podcast now.
So stupid is fine, but idiot is not okay.
In this context, I guess.
I would say that most of the mechanicals are not related to your gears; they're related to your tires.
Yeah, you tell them, Dylan. Don't be hating on my budget bikes.
That wasn't really a defense of you at all, but okay. I'm just saying. So he like his reasoning is, well, okay, if I ride a single speed, then I won't have mechanicals. It's like, more than likely the mechanical that you'll get is a flat tire. So single speed won't help with that.
Agreed. Unless you're just going slower and you can't get a flat tire if you're going too slow.
If you just want a better experience, my friend, you want gears. And you want the shifting of those gears to be crisp.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience. You got to have a good gear range.
He says, is it worth the additional suffering to do Unbound on a 100 on a single speed?
Adam, you're the only one who's done a gravel race on a single speed. So is it worth the additional suffering or no?
It depends on what you're going for. Like I wanted the single speed experience. So like, yeah, that was fun.
What is, you want a horrible experience? What is the single speed experience?
The suffering. It's way harder.
Well, why don't you just go faster on the bike?
Dude, the single speed experience is that like after the race, like you get to go up to a bunch of guys with flannels and tattoos and mustaches and be like, oh, dude, like what gear ratio you run?
Exactly.
Oh, dude, 48-18? That's crazy, man. That's way too high for me.
Oh, you have tattoos?
It's like,
and you wear a flannel? And if you could grow a mustache, you would?
And that was the gear ratio I ran.
And I've seen photos of you riding single speed.
Yeah, deep down, he's a
dude. When I was
a closet single speeder.
I'm not even closet, dude. When I was like 14, 15 years old, that's all I rode was a single speed mountain bike. Like I was really into single speed mountain biking.
Okay, Gordon.
Yeah,
Quadsworth. That guy's awesome,
dude.
Probably one of the happiest bike racers I've ever met.
You should learn something from him.
We did the Mid-South one year and me and him rode together all day and like so nice.
Who's that?
Like Gordon Wadsworth. Oh. And at the end of the race, the guy that was in 5th place was right ahead of us. And I'm like, you could probably go catch him. Like if you would actually like drop me. I literally had this conversation with him. I was like, you should go catch him. He's like, nah, man, I'm going to stick it out with you. And I was like, buddy, this is a race. Come on, like if you can beat me and beat that guy, you should do that. and he did. He was like, okay. And so he rode away from me, caught the guy in front of us and gets 5th place. And I'm like, why'd you start this race if you're so nice that you don't want to beat people? But that's
I'm not into that. I'm not into not wanting to beat people in a race.
I know I'm not into that either. I would have totally sprinted. If he would have took me to the line, I would have sprinted him.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm not into anyone ever holding hands across a finish line.
Yeah.
I mean like if you're teammates, maybe, but like, dude. Yeah, no.
I didn't get into gravel racing to make friends. I got into it to make enemies.
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, no, you're doing a good job, Drew. You're succeeding.
All right. Bennett from Colorado has an Aspero and he can't get a new bike next year. So he wants to know, should he run S-Works Pathfinder 42s or go smaller?
Don't say can't. Sell that piece of crap and get a better bike. Like people are stuck in this box of like, I don't have the money for a new bike, but you have a bike that you could sell that would then give you the money to get a new bike. Dude, come on, math.
He does say because of certain life events
aren't cheap. Sell that thing.
He says because of certain life events and not wanting to wait for more frames to be released with more clearance. Dude, there are a lot of frames with a lot of clearance. So I would scratch that. life events, that's totally valid, but there's plenty of frames with clearance.
So is that our answer? Just ignore what
No.
he
So he wants to know, should he run the new Hutchinson Caracol Race 40s that are significantly faster on bicycle rolling resistance, or the S-Works Pathfinder 42s, which are 2 millimeters wider but 10 watts slower?
You know,
would you run 2 millimeters wider and slower, or vice versa?
It's just a difficult situation, man. Like, it's just,
should he just race on the road?
I don't want to answer this question. Like, I don't want to entertain this question. You know what I'm saying?
He could sell the Aspero and buy a brand new steak, slap some 50s on that thing, and he'd have money left over for his life circumstance.
Yeah, dude. He could get the wheel top group set, save some money there.
Yeah. Did you try that thing yet?
No, not yet. It's still in the box.
Okay.
Don't knock the wheel top till you try it.
Yeah. See? Just wait for the video.
Were you here last week, Scott?
This brand, like, they thought they were messaging me.
Yeah. You must not have been, because we knocked the wheel top for like an hour.
No,
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I participated.
Yeah.
This brand is going to be so much more known now because of...
They will, for sure, yeah.
Because of...
I didn't know about it.
I did not know about wheel top until now.
And I should have told them...
You're doing a good job, Drew.
I should have told them to get me an affiliate link.
Whether it's good or not, now like close to 10,000 people probably know what wheel top is.
I know. And before this, like 3 people knew what wheel top was. And those 3 people worked for wheel top.
And one of them was Drew.
And one of them was me.
Brandon from Texas wants to know what wheels all of us are running and why we chose them, and what our ideal gravel wheel set and tire setup would look like.
Shimano.
He wants us each to give two responses to one question. Wow.
It's kind of 3 responses, really.
The wheels that we have and our dream wheels.
And why you chose the wheels that we're running, or the dream wheel set.
Oh my gosh, dude. Next question. That's just too many. That's just too many. All right, let's just stick with... I don't even know the answer to that. What wheels you want me to sit here and think about that?
What wheels are you running?
Let me go. Actually, you know what? I got to go check my basement and see what wheels are even on my bike. Like,
I don't even know what wheels you run, dude.
I'm on the Vision.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Vision, Metron.
Yeah. Your dream wheel 40s. Is the tri-spoke, but they wouldn't give it to you.
Why would you want to try, bro?
For the Aero gains, bro.
It looks so cool.
I I don't know.
I'm going.
It looks like it would be.
Since we're already down this hole.
Do they use them in time trials anymore? When's the last time you saw?
There's a company that makes gravel bladed carbon wheels in Europe, and I reached out to them, and I think they're going to send me a set of wheels. I'm going to put those with my wheel top group set and my carbon bladed wheels. Lavelle.
Are you going to give the company a shout out, or are you just going to say
Josh is going to make fun of you for riding that budget gravel bike at Unbound next year when everything breaks?
Nah, I didn't say I was running that bike next year at Unbound. I said I ran it this year at Unbound.
What are you running now?
Were you mechanical free at Unbound this year?
Yep.
Nice.
Not even a dropped chain, not a flat tire.
And you expect the same with wheel top and carbon bladed spokes?
What'd you say? What'd you say? No mechanical mishaps, just physical mishaps.
Like what?
Bodily mishaps.
What were the physical mishaps?
You pulled a McGill, got dropped.
I didn't drink. I got hot and I got thirsty.
Dylan, I'll reword this question.
I didn't quit, so not bad.
Because I think it is a question that people do have. Mm-hmm. When do you choose between an Aero wheel and like a compliant wheel for gravel?
What's compliant mean? Like a flexi
wheel? A non-deep dish wheel. Yeah, so more like a mountain profile.
Why would you ever want a flexi wheel? Compliant just means it moves more.
Yes.
Right?
Damping.
Have you ever ridden a super stiff wheel?
Just get a saddle that has more cushions. Don't forfeit your wheel. Just get a cushion. just get a fat cushion saddle, like the gel saddle.
It's like the same thing as running way too high a tire pressure, and it's actually slower. Like it feels faster, but it ends up being slower because your bike's off the ground half the time. It's the same thing. Yeah, so like a more compliant gravel wheel said it could actually be faster in some cases.
Okay, I gotta hand it to.
Talking about how could you even measure that?
Oh man, I don't want to screw this up right now. I gotta hand. I think it was maybe Road CC did this where the pedaling. Remember the pedaling efficiency rig that I talked about?
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
it was only a week ago.
Right. Anyway, so they took an Orbea. I think it was Road CC. I don't want to screw this up because it was a good video, and I want to give them
look
a
it up
proper
and see
shout out.
Who did that?
All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Road CC or Orbea, whatever, like climbing bike versus aero bike. Anyway, I'll recap it. So, but people should check out the video. Like, this is a genuine shout out. They did a good video. So they took Aero road bike.
Is it called Have Climbing Bikes Had Their Day? Lightweight versus Aero road bike?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we're not going to watch the video right now. So Dylan, just recap.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so they took the Orbea climbing bike and they took the Orbea road bike, or the Orbea Aero road bike, to the pedaling efficiency rig, and they found that the climbing bike on the pedaling efficiency rig was more efficient. And I forget what they theorized.
And you're saying because it's more compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's because I'm pretty sure they tested it.
Just trying to connect the dots.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they tested it on the tarmac surface. And I need to go back and watch the video because I'm kind of like spitballing here off of a memory of this video from like 2 months ago. But I'm pretty sure they tested on the tarmac surface and the cobbled surface, and the compliance of the frame actually made a difference in the efficiency, which is, I'll be honest, especially with like road bikes, that's something that I hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be the thing. I remember back when like people were still riding aluminum bikes and stuff, that the thought was if your bike was too flexy, like too compliant, it was inefficient.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody only
bikes.
talked about how stiff your bottom bracket was,
Yep.
So I don't and all that.
I don't necessarily think that having I think having the stiffest possible bike is actually could be less efficient, even on road, even on paved road.
Because that state, it is super flexy. You gotta go get you one of them states for them uncompliant states. The code, for those that don't know, is Rad Dad State 24. Hopefully that'll be my code to the end of the year.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. So anyway, I think that, it's a thing that's so hard to measure, but the pedaling efficiency rig made it easier to measure. And honestly, there's so many questions that I have that could potentially be answered by that pedaling efficiency rig. Like, for example, is having some sort of rear suspension like what Specialized does with their gravel bike, is that faster on bumpy surface?
No, that's just a
dude. It might be.
That's just a gimmick.
It might be.
Let's put suspension everywhere.
Is having like a flexi seat post, like the Ergon seat post, is that faster? Is having a suspension stem, is that faster?
That's just more comfy. Get that and a cushy saddle, dude. You'd be riding on clouds.
Is having a cushy saddle faster? That different people who weigh the same amount can be more or less efficient riding the same power output.
Yeah, because one person pedals squares and the other one's pedals circles.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's so many factors to consider that I think a lot of people just haven't been considering for a long time, because it's something it's such a hard thing to measure.
Wow. So Aero is dead, and now we're on to efficiency.
I mean, that's what it's always been about, right? The efficiency of who's going to get from A to B the fastest.
We're back.
The
to
means
the
that you get there
fundamentals.
is endless.
The Kobe method. Master the fundamentals.
Not sure if that's what we're talking about.
I don't think this is the fundamentals, dude.
Dude,
This is like
you
is
know what
so
I've been
far
doing
past
since
the fundamentals.
No. It's so far in the fundamentals that you think that it's so far beyond the fundamentals.
Dude, the fundamentals is like riding your bike to
Tyler,
get faster.
isn't this efficiency is literally the fundamentals. Tyler's with me on this one.
Yeah, dude, you guys don't even know. Andrew and I are so together on this one.
Dude, I've been doing single leg drills on the trainer since I was like 15 to increase my efficiency.
Yeah, but we're talking about like
equipment.
We're talking about like changing frames to improve the efficiency.
I mean, we were actually talking about wheels. I don't even know how we got on frames. This guy's question was about wheels.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like biomechanical things that you can do that make you more efficient as well.
Of
like
course,
pedal stroke,
100%,
like pedal stroke efficiency,
and get stronger and eat better food, drink more water. Yeah,
hit the gym. Yeah.
But,
okay, so now, but like hitting the.
But Brandon wants to know what wheels we run and why.
We went from
Brandon,
talking about wheels.
This is what we're talking about. You don't want to put in the hard work, Brandon. You just want to go buy your efficiency. You want to go buy your efficiency, dude. Brandon, quit cycling. This isn't a lazy person's sport, Brandon. If you want to get more efficient, you got to do single leg drills on the trainer. You got to do high cadence drills on the trainer. Stop thinking about these shortcuts, you bum.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
put in the work.
Spend your money on an Ignition Coach Co.
Yes.
With code RADDAD 100% off for 7
And
months
you know
of
what?
free coaching.
The gains that you're going to get from the efficiency that your coach will help you improve will far outweigh the gains that you're going to get from some frame swap.
You could even ride a state and you'd still be faster.
Yeah. And the money that you save on your state, you could buy coaching with.
For at least 2 months.
And if you use the code FLAME150, even though it was only valuable up till a couple days ago, I'll still honor it. FLAME150. Will, if you use that code all this week and you listen to this podcast, because this isn't going to come out till Thursday.
All lowercase numbers.
FLAME150, we'll give you $150 off your first month. You'll probably regret it, and you'll probably regret it in a couple months, you know, when your coach tells you to go do hard things, but that's a part of the dude. That's a part of the gig, dude. We don't cut corners here at Ignition. Like, you want to get faster, you got to put in the work.
So for wheels, I have a set of Stan's Grails, and I got them because they were cheap, and I needed a set of wheels, aluminum wheels for my bikes. The other wheels that I have are Easton EC90 SLs, and I have those set up with road tires currently, and I got those because I was on a team that was sponsored by Easton.
Yeah, me too. But I've had those wheels for like 10 years.
I was going to say, are those still rim brake?
I don't think I've ever replaced the bearings in them, and they're still good.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. That is an interesting question because it's something I think I've been thinking about recently as I'm trying to upgrade both of my setups from what I have currently.
So you're on the you're on the lazy train too. Nice, Tyler. Nice. All right.
Dude, are you just going to call Drew?
He just said he's trying to make both of his bikes faster.
Are you just going to call?
I got a better idea.
Why don't
you got two legs? Try to make both of those faster.
Oh my god.
Look at Scott. Listen, you guys are a bunch of dumbasses.
I have lost. I get a lot of work done on these podcasts when you guys start talking about
what are you doing right now, Scott?
You updating training peaks?
I'm doing lots of shit. I'm buying stuff from Lowe's. I'm unfortunately Home Depot doesn't have that product. I hate Lowe's.
Dude, Lowe's is the best.
You just mentioned two of Drew's competitors.
Yeah, I'm like questioning all of your decisions right now. Like, what are you doing? Is there not a Menards in Maryland?
No, there's no Menards.
Yeah.
I've never even been to a Menards. I've never seen one.
What? Well, then that's valid. If there's
Is
not one
it a hardware store?
Yeah, it's better than both of those hardware.
Dude, please don't start talking about Menards in front of Drew.
All right, so Tyler, what's your question about wheels?
Well, no, I mean, the question was about what's your ideal wheel and tire setup, right? And the reason why I'm trying to upgrade, in thinking about upgrading my setup, it's so I can fit bigger tires on my bike, or so I can have a dedicated road bike and not be jerry rigging a cyclocross bike with road gearing, etc. Right? You want to kind of take advantage of the increased aeroness or the aero gains that a lot of the equipment has, as opposed to riding a frame that's 4 or 5 years old now and just basically round tubes. But the wheels are something that I think it's easy to get drawn into something like buying a set of NBs or something like that. But I mean,
it is.
There's got to be a level of, I'm just trying to buy your bike, Adam. There's got to be a level of like optimization when it comes to what tires are you going to run? Because if you're running some 19 mil internal rims with 52 mil tires, like that tire's going to have a different profile than if you ran something like a Hunt or, with 25 or even like mountain bike wheels with, 29, 30 millimeter internals. So like, I don't know. This is a question that I have as well. I don't have an answer, but just something that I'm also thinking about is what wheels should I get as I'm looking to just optimize my setup for the different types of racing that I do.
Well, as far as the wheel width goes, I will say that I run for races where aero matters a lot, like Unbound.
Brace yourself. Here comes a sponsor drop. Because everybody knows that nobody would actually buy a set of Reynolds. But go ahead, tell us about your Reynolds wheels.
So the Reynolds 60 millimeter deep wheels were faster in the wind tunnel than shallow wheels. Even though they weren't
with mountain bike tires.
With mountain bike tires, yes. Yeah. With mountain bike tires. Even though they weren't designed for that, they were faster. I think you could make the argument that
shallow rim with gravel tire, like narrow tires?
Same tires.
Okay.
So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you could make the argument that that could be the case with any deep wheel, and certainly could be the case with any deep wheel. But I will say that the Reynolds wheels hit a max external width of 36 mil, which is quite wide for a deep road wheel.
Mm.
Anyway, like those wheels, I believe, have an internal width of 21, which 21 is quite narrow by today's standards. But if you go back like 7 or 8 years, mountain bike wheels were 21 millimeter. Like XC race wheels were 21 mil wide. That was just an XC race wheel,
and they were 26 inches in diameter.
No, yeah. I mean, even as recent as probably 2018, 2019. That was the case.
Yeah. So people ask me, they are like, oh, dude, is that even going to work? Like, if you put a 2.2 mountain bike tire on that, won't it just like blow off the rim? Like, how is that going to work? And it's like, dude, like you said, 2018, people were doing that for mountain biking.
Yeah.
Like a 2.2 on a 21 mil internal rim was just standard cross country mountain bike setup. So it's really not an issue.
Yeah, I think your blanket statement of all aero wheels or deep dish wheels are going to be more aero. I don't know if that's true. Like I think the fact that those are 60 mil deep and they have that real wide profile, like somewhere in the middle of that, is probably what's helping that. I bet if you had like a 40 mil deep wheel, you probably would negate most of the aero benefits.
Yeah, so I think you're probably correct. I don't want to say definitively because that's not something that I tested, but
what if you go to like an 80 and even bigger?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. So I think
did you do like 80s at Unbound, or were those 60s?
Those were the 60s, yeah. But the wheels bow out, so they hit like a wide point of 36 mil, kind of like midway through the depth. So yeah, I would not be shocked if a 40 mil deep wheel that doesn't bow out at all. It's just it just gets narrower from the top to the bottom. If that has almost no aero benefit when you put a mountain bike tire on it.
Yeah. But now something like the new Zips that are super wide internal, I think they're like 32 internal or something crazy. That might be a little different story because those are probably only 40 mil deep, but they've got a wider profile. I don't know what the outside like widest profile is, but I think it's probably at least 36. So you might get something aero benefit wise from that. So how do you decide though? Like when would you choose those versus a more compliant wheel?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really about the amount of climbing versus the amount of flat sections where aero matters. Okay. Unbound, I went aero wheel. Mid-South, I went aero wheel. What else?
Big Sugar.
The Rat, I went aero wheel. Big Sugar, I actually went compliant wheel.
Okay.
And the reason was because you could, if you were time trialing that course, I think aero wheel is the obvious choice. But the places, just having raced Big Sugar before, if you're going to get dropped, you're going to get dropped on one of the steep climbs.
Sure.
And I wanted to maximize for those sections.
Are you concerned at all about the deeper dish wheel being more vulnerable to impacts from gravel and braking?
Hasn't been an issue all year. I mean, I've run them all year, and
haven't had
my wheels are rock. Like I didn't even need to true them; they're rock solid.
Yeah, because I had that happen at a mountain bike race once. I mean, they were Bontraggers, and they were probably just garbage, anyways. But
that's like your first mistake.
A piece of gravel pinged off my rim and broke it.
Okay.
They were like kind of deeper wheels for mountain bike wheels, so that's why I didn't know if it was because they were deeper or just because they were Bontraggers.
Probably because they were Bontraggers.
Let's see.
Well, what if they were tri-blade or just bladed spokes?
That should be totally better.
I asked that company in Europe about like, hey, are these more aero? And I think they responded like, oh, aerodynamics in gravel is an interesting question. I was like, what? Like, why'd you guys make this wheel if it wasn't for aerodynamics?
An interesting question.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm the only one asking that question.
No, you're not, dude. This company's just living in 2017.
They look cool.
Anthony said that when we were talking about bike frames, gravel frames that had clearance for 2.2s, we should have mentioned Rodeo Labs.
Cool. Throw them in there.
Throw them in there.
Do they make bikes?
What?
I thought they were like a media company.
I'm pretty sure they're just a bike company.
I think you're thinking of something different, dude.
Yeah.
Rodeo Labs sounds like a way better name for a media company than it does for a frame company.
All right.
All right. This guy Ken says he wants to know. I'm pretty sure we just talked about this tire. He wants to know if you've seen the bicycle rolling resistance data for the Hutchinson Caracal Race 40s.
Dang,
he says he's run them compared to the Race King and the Thunderbirds, and he feels they are faster.
Do people get notified every time a new tire gets put on that website? How do these people know this stuff? Like, are they just stalking the bicycle rolling website all the time? That's two questions in 1 week about a tire that Dylan doesn't even know about. Like, you must be a premium subscriber to the bicycle rolling resistance. How does it feel to be a premium subscriber to some fake thing that you don't even know is real? Dude, I posted some pictures of a rolling machine on a website and then post a bunch of random numbers next to tires.
Dude, I do pay for bicyclerollingresistance.com. Like I pay the monthly fee.
Yep.
It's like $3 or something. It's worth it.
Hashtag worth it.
I don't know, dude. I gotta look into these Hutchinson
If it's only
tires.
$3, it's fake. If it's only $3, it's fake.
Dude, it's just access to a website. It's not like he's selling you a product.
How expensive it probably costs this guy to buy these drums, to run the tests, to buy the tires? And you're only going to pay $3 for that exclusive data?
Dude, imagine if 10,000 people subscribe. That's $30,000 a month that he gets.
Dang, good point. Maybe we should create some fake thing and only charge $3 for it.
I'm just saying, like, he doesn't need to charge a lot to make money doing what he's doing.
We'll do it on the Ignition website. We'll have all three of our normal categories, you know, the standard coaching for $210, premium for $330, junior discount $180, and then we'll have a $3 option for just fake training. You want some fake training? Sign up right here, $3. $3 to be a monthly fee.
Man, I wish that guy would come on this podcast.
The weird glasses guy.
Have you asked him?
Yeah, he said he doesn't do podcasts.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't speak very good English.
This is leading to Drew's theory. He's a fake.
Thank you, Scott.
I mean, even if he was fake, he could come on a podcast and talk.
Responded in perfect English.
Yeah, but he's not a good liar. He knows it, so he can't fake it for that long on a podcast. Because we'll ask him how he does his tests, and he just doesn't even know.
Dude, he writes about how he does his tests on the website.
Yeah, you probably know more than me. I have no idea how he does it. All I know is it's not accurate. That's all I know.
Right. Totally. All right, next question.
All right, this is from Little Billy. He says, my name is Billy and I just started the 9th grade. My great grandma Nana Edith is a big supporter of my dream to become a professional cyclist. And
this isn't real.
Why are you laughing at Billy?
Hilarious.
Dude? He's a 9th grader.
This is not real.
And just gifted me my very first gravel bike, a Trek Checkmate with 40 with 40 millimeter tires.
This is so fake.
Dylan, would you recommend finding an incinerator or an industrial trash compactor to dispose the bike? Thank you, Little Billy.
I thought he meant to dispose of his Nana. When he said incarcerator, I thought he meant like
incinerator.
Wow. Yeah, I thought he meant like, oh, my Nana screwed up so bad. We're just gonna have.
See, I shouldn't have read that one before we started because I already read it and I knew it was funny, and then it was even funnier the second time.
Dude,
I probably would use the trash compactor because I'm pretty sure if you try to incinerate a carbon fiber bike, you would inhale carbon into your lungs and die from lung cancer.
According to the
I think you just need to tell your Nana to listen to this podcast, bro.
The bicycle station, they have a YouTube channel and they've been on this hype the last 2 weeks about the Trek Checkpoint being the best road bike, endurance road bike on the market. So they took a gravel bike and took it out of the gravel bike category, put it in a different category and said, oh, it's really good for endurance road riding because it kind of sucks at what it's meant to do, gravel riding. Thought that was kind of funny.
Wait, you said that they turned it into an endurance road bike?
Yeah, they're saying that the Trek Checkmate is the best endurance road bike on the market, but that's not.
That is really funny, actually. I didn't know that.
But that's not even what it is. It's supposed to be a gravel bike, but so basically the bicycle station doesn't want to say that it's a bad gravel bike, so they just put it in a different category.
Oh, I thought you meant Trek was marketing it this way.
No.
Trek's not going to do that.
Okay, that's what I thought you were there. They were walking that back. Yeah, trash compactor for sure.
Or endurance road bike. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Can't believe you laughed at Billy in his dreams.
Dude, that was.
Yeah, I'm sorry that your Nana's just that. It was just that behind the times. She should. I mean, of all people, she should know that frame is so not the right frame.
Rob wants to know if we've ever talked about why Logan Owen got picked in the Lifetime Grand Prix instead of Dizzle, because Dizzle would have been a way better selection. I'm pretty sure we
talk about this again.
I think we have.
Adam's making this up.
No, dude, this is from Rob.
Don't get me started. Me and Logan Owen going way back. We got beef. We got cyclocross beef from when we were like juniors, and now he's taking my spot in the GP.
Every race?
Beat me at every race except for Worlds, Scott. The one that matters, I smoked him. Actually, I only beat him by
In
one.
Louisville?
Nah, cockside.
Oh. Do you know of any other person in the world who has raced the Cyclocross World Championships without competing in cyclocross in Europe?
What do you mean? Oh, you?
Like, I think I might be the only person to ever do that.
To do worlds.
You've never
without
raced in
racing
Europe?
I've never raced cross in Europe, and I did the worlds.
Yeah, but the worlds were in the
It's only
US.
Is that like an accomplishment? Like,
It's a cool stat.
I guess.
I
I mean, I'm the only person
stat.
in the world to get
Well, but-
16th 16 times in a row.
There were other people on the world
Probably
team that
true.
year that, right?
No, I don't. I think everyone went to Europe except me and Eric Bruner. Maybe.
But he's
Bruner's been in
he's
Europe.
done it before.
Yeah.
I've never done a cross race. in
Scott,
Europe.
you know how many US gravel racers never have raced in Europe in their life and then they went to Europe to do the gravel worlds?
Yeah, but they're racing in Europe.
No, they're not. The first time they ever raced in Europe was the World Championships.
So they did
Scott's-
a race in Europe.
Scott did the worlds that were in the US.
In the US.
Yeah, so Scott's saying he's never raced world champ or never raced cyclocross.
I want to
in
know
Europe,
if there's anybody
including
else
us.
in the entire world.
Every single time there's a World
I
Championship.
think that mattered.
Dude, I
Yeah,
bet there's
it
so many
doesn't matter.
masters that have never raced in Europe.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
time
but
there's a
there's
World
elite
Championship.
World Championships.
Every
An
time
elite
there's a World
Championship.
Championship in the US, there's going to be people who've never raced in Europe racing it.
No. No, that's not
Also,
true.
you have raced in Europe.
No, cross.
I'm just saying, you've been to Europe to race your bike before.
Yeah. I bet we could get you a plaque that says that, Scott. You want a plaque that
that
says
blank
the
No, I
all,
don't
you
want.
know,
I just want to claim that statistic as mine. I think it's cool.
it's yours, and we need to commemorate it with a plaque.
Yeah.
All right, somebody make me a plaque. Somebody will do it. That's the bad part about this.
You know what's actually also
That's the
kind of
bad
cool
part.
about that? Your cyclocross reputation hasn't been hampered by the fact that you've gone to Europe and gotten your ass whooped by all the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've probably had more top tens than not in UCI cross races,
Yeah,
True.
where most guys go to Europe and just get clobbered.
yeah, that is cool. Good on you.
Nice,
It's pretty
Scott.
cool that you only
Good
did
job.
cross. You only did cross, like really did cross for like 2 years. But within those 2 years, you had a pretty good following. Like people loved to watch you race.
Because he was good.
Yeah, and it's like you were like the mystery factor of like, where'd this guy come from? Like Curtis and those guys have been racing cross forever. It's like we're getting tired of seeing Curtis race cross, and then Scott shows up, and we're like, finally something new.
I might be one of the only American males to race the cross worlds and the road worlds in the same year, too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Those are my two stats.
Cool, dude.
Nice. Cool. That is cool.
Nice.
Here's
You
I
did
know
both of
that.
those. That was in the same year that you did cross
Yeah,
worlds and road
2022.
worlds.
here's a cool stat.
That is sick.
Mike
That's a way cooler stat.
Michael said
Well, I don't know if that's true, though. You'd have to do some research.
I'm the only American male who got 10th at Unbound, who's also a vegan, who lives in Brevard, who's 29 years old.
Yeah, but you don't do actual racing. You're not racing like actual races.
Is
There's
Unbound
bait.
not an actual race?
I mean, it's a competition, yeah. But anyone can just sign up for it, you know?
No, dude, they have to let you into the
Not
pro race
anymore.
now.
Yeah, you have to apply and submit a resume to get into the pro race.
Also, if you're
If
not,
I wanted to do it, I'd have to apply to do it.
yeah,
and you'd have to get in on the lottery. So you might not
Yeah.
even get in.
I think it's easier to get into the pro category through the lottery than it is for the other categories because less people probably apply for the lottery for the pro category. So I don't even think it fills up.
Don't advertise that, dude. Now everyone's going to be trying to get in the pro category.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of this, I just signed up for SBT, which is also a lottery system and also has a pro race. And they So,
didn't let you in.
No. I don't know if I've been let in yet because they haven't done the lottery thing yet. But going through it, they have so many things that you have to agree to. Like you had to agree that you weren't going to like urinate and defecate on the course.
I mean, with their history, yep, that sounds about right.
Are they going to have porta potties like scattered throughout the course then?
No, you have to race. You have to race with a bag.
A bag of piss?
A pee bag.
Put a catheter in it.
You already race with an empty bladder. Just
refill
it. Yeah, just connect that thing up and you fill it up. Instead of it being empty, you'll fill it up throughout the race. Yeah. Think of how much time. Dude, you told us that you peed your chamois 5 times during Leadville. Think of it like you'd be getting more and more aero every time you peed at Leadville if that pee went into a bladder.
Fact.
Why don't you just whip it out and do it off the side?
Yeah, somebody's not that pro.
It's hard to do that.
It's hard to do that.
I can't do it, to be honest.
See?
Really?
You're talking all this shit. You can't even do it.
You can, but you just have to be okay with getting pee everywhere.
Or just going slower.
I just stop.
Yeah, you go a lot
If you go on a downhill, it's like a neutral.
I mean, we already talked about this on an episode, but
if everybody else does it with you, then it's
if I had stopped 5 times to pee at Leadville that year, then I would have probably gone 3 minutes slower and lost 3 places.
First question: why are you peeing 5 times?
Because it was cold, and I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah, you do pee more when
it was
cold.
And also in my if it's a normal weather race, I don't pee. But when it's cold and raining, I will pee.
If it's really
cold, I'll try not to pee my chamois. But Leadville, you're not in a group, so or at least I'm not in a group. So if you stop to pee, you're just losing time.
If it's really cold and you're just peeing out all that water anyways, could you just do the whole race on gel? Like just gels, no water? And then you wouldn't have to pee as much.
You wouldn't be able to digest it.
And then you wouldn't have to pee so much.
No, don't do that, Drew.
What are you drinking like the night before and the morning of? What do you do for these early races? If I'm going to start doing gravel, I need some tips.
Bro, we've talked about this a million times. Just
how do you make yourself take a shit before the race?
Oh, I take like 5 shits before a 6 a.m.
You just
race.
eat a vegan diet, dude. You probably never stop shitting.
You get nervous.
Dude, I'll take my first shit at like 1 a.m., take my second shit at 3 a.m., then take like 3 shits in 30 minutes at like 4:30.
How do you, what time do you go to bed before these things?
Just a normal time. I feel like when people try to go to bed too early before an early race, they can't sleep and then they screw up their sleep worse. I just go to bed at a normal time, like 9 or 10.
So you just sleep less the night before?
Yeah, you just sleep less. You just accept that you sleep less, which, Oh,
I've tried that so many times. Going to bed at 5.
Yeah, it doesn't work, dude.
It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
I wake up at like 11 thinking that it's morning or something.
Exactly, dude.
And then it's 11 p.m. and I'm wide awake. And then I'm up till 1 and then I go back to sleep and then I get up at 2.
Yeah, if you have to wake up at 4 in the morning for Unbound, don't go to bed at like
sleep like 6 hours.
Yeah, don't go to bed at like 7 p.m. Just go to bed at a normal, reasonable hour, like 9 or 10.
You could try to adjust your whole life to be.
It's really, dude. It's not worth it, man. The sleep that you get right the night before a race is not that big a deal. It's more so the sleep that you get the week leading into the race.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to adjust your whole life anyways to go to bed at 7.
Why would that be nice?
Dude, well, now this time of year it would be because then
dinner at 7.
I'll get up at like 5. And then by the time the sun gets up, I'm like ready to rock and roll, Because it gets dark at like 4:30. It's so annoying.
Yeah, you're right. I hate.
If you're doing something outside, you get shut down.
Sure.
And for it's hunting season.
Mm-hmm. What time do you go to bed and wake up now?
Probably realistically like 10 and like 7. I get up.
Damn, you sleep 9 hours a night?
Well,
half that time is other activities,
Yeah, probably.
Scott is a married man, He's got stuff to do. Between
he's got
10 and 7.
He's got babies to make.
Right. I hope Megan doesn't listen to this podcast.
She definitely does not listen.
Do any of our girlfriends / wives listen to it? CJ's never listened to it.
No.
I've never even listened to it.
Yeah, right.
Except for that vegan cyclist episode.
I think there was a time where we had talked about doing like a bonk. I don't remember what we were going to call
chicks?
it. Bonk bras or bronc hose or something like that.
We definitely can't call it either.
Someone sent it in. I can't remember what they called it, but
Bonk chicks.
Bonk chicks. Sure.
Dude.
And we were going to have all of our significant others do an episode.
Been such a bad episode. That would have been
CJ
so bad, dude.
It'd be
CJ
funny.
would never ever agree to that.
So the girl that I was seeing this summer, actually, like when we first started seeing each other, she's like,
you guys broke up?
Yeah. She's like, I listened to your podcast, and all of a sudden I got like super nervous. Like, you know that meme? Where the dude is like sweating, like profusely. Like the girl asked him something, and he starts sweating profusely. That was me. I was like, oh fuck, dude, what did I say on the podcast?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. There's that other meme of like when I think it's that meme, but it says like when God realizes that he can read the bros group chat.
Yeah,
when you realize God can read the bros group chat.
When you realize that God listens to this podcast and he's disappointed in how negative you are, Drew.
I know. This is serious
dude, but hey, here's a positive that comes from the podcast. I've been waiting to read this for like an hour. Michael says, thanks for the promo code. It motivated me to make a bigger purchase from, he's talking about SILCA, by the way. The SILCA promo code. Not Menards. You guys saved me almost $50. Dude, if we saved him $50, man, he
spent $500.
Spending buku dollars at SILCA.
Yeah. Dang.
That's awesome. That's so much wax, dude.
That means we made like $20. All right. And we split it 6 ways. We each get $3.50.
6 ways? Who's the sixth person?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. 5.
So how much is that, Drew?
$4.
Okay.
Nice. Thanks, dude. Whoever you were. We all got $4 off you.
Michael, dude.
Michael. Appreciate you, Michael.
We actually made him way more money than we made ourselves.
Keeping the lights on.
You don't even have the lights on right now, Drew. You're sitting in the dark.
Yeah, I know. I got my.
Is it cold up there?
Fancy light. No, I got me a little like oil heater. You know, I keep it on.
Oil.
You don't know those old school like oil furnaces that have just like the metal. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think it uses oil, dude. I think it uses gas.
Nope. Literally uses oil. You guys are idiots.
What?
Look it up. There's oil inside of it.
Like the 18th
I thought you weren't going
century.
to use the I word anymore.
I can if you guys are being it. This is not new technology. There's some kind of heating mechanism that heats up the oil. They used to heat entire houses off of this design. You just heat up a bunch of oil, and the oil like dissipates heat.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. I didn't know. Yeah, okay.
So they do that, and it's got all these like flanges that have oil inside the flanges, and then those give off heat, and it gives more of like I could turn on a little space heater that blows out hot air, but that's not really going to warm up the room. It's just going to warm up my feet. But this thing actually keeps the room itself warm.
Yeah.
Without
they're calling
it HVAC.
Radiant heaters.
It's just a thing that I plug in the wall, and it just heats the room.
I've never heard anyone call it.
How much does that run you in electricity?
I keep it on the low setting, so not that much. Probably just as much as it would have if I had ran HVAC all the way up here and all that stuff, because HVAC is just blowing out hot air, and as soon as it stops blowing the hot air, it gets cold.
Cool. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah, come on. You guys don't know.
Dylan, what heats your house?
Beats me. Actually, the heater broke last week.
Did they fix it?
Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. One of these episodes we recorded,
Just go get 2 of these oil things, put them in the 2 rooms that you're in the most often, and that solves your issue.
It's too late.
No, Dylan's house is not evenly temperate.
What does that mean?
Freezing in that. Last time I stayed there, I was
In that
fucking
back
freezing.
room?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the guest room is pretty cold. Yeah,
That's
sure.
like an add-on. I bet they didn't even run any HVAC back there.
Yeah,
I bet it's just
Yeah, and then I had to keep the door closed, and
then you should
somebody who I won't name was
you should have bought
bitching at me
yourself a
about
$40. You should have bought a $40 oil heater and plugged it in back there.
Dude, you didn't have to keep the door closed.
Yeah. Well, I left it open and the cat peed on the pillow, and then Nina's like, "You're gonna have to pay for that." Like, your cat peed on your pillow. Why do I?
No, she didn't, dude. She didn't say that.
She did.
She probably thought that you peed on it, and you blamed it.
I guarantee you, Dylan bought this pillow, 100%. Whether he knew he did or not, he did. And then your cat's peed on it. Like, I don't know where I fall into this.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You still got the cats?
no, she took him
Oh,
in the divorce.
it's probably for the best.
It's not that big a bummer. The cats did pee everywhere.
Yeah, and they screwed
That
up the
sucked,
podcast
dude.
all the time. They kept jumping on you in the middle of a podcast. Stupid cats.
Jesse sent a picture of his cow bike. At one point, Drew, you were talking about the Trek cow bike.
Yeah, those things were old school.
Yeah, he's got one.
Can we wrap this up, dude?
Yeah,
Wow.
you know how like when when the popcorn's done popping and the space between the pops gets stretched out. That's where we're at right now.
Wait, what? Pop getting stretched out?
You count 5 seconds in between
Yeah.
pops or
Yeah,
whatever.
we ran out of things to talk about, and so now there's all these awkward silences, and so the
And
popcorn.
then we're talking about Dylan's
Yeah.
cat.
I think the popcorn's done popping, and we should probably
Oh, I
just
see.
pull it out. Yeah,
Should we pull it out?
of the microwave. To be clear.
All right.
Yeah, it's time to pull out
All right, let's pull it out. You guys
of
are
the
terrible.
microwave.
All right, see you guys.